Hey guys, so first of all, good morning. And if y'all see here, this is LeBron guarding Russell Westbrook back in the 2019-20 season before the shutdown, obviously. So I promised that I was going to have more music in the background after my series recap at least. But for videos like this, I did this with the James Harden trade this year and the John Wall and Russell Westbrook trade last offseason. So this is going to be the same type of video that I did with those two. So, if y'all didn't know, the Lakers traded for Russell Westbrook, sent Harold Lamontrez, KCP, and Kyle Kuzma, and a bunch of picks. Now, when I heard the news, I was really hyped about this trade, and I still am. I still am. Don't get me wrong, but I am very critical of Russell Westbrook, even though I am a huge fan of him. I have been a fan of his game. I've been a fan of how he plays. I've been a fan of how he just does not take plays off. And he's a one of a kind player. But one of the things that make me question this trade is number one is shooting, and number two is defense. Let me explain. So there's this guy I follow called LAKERS all day, every day. And he said people are too focused on Westbrook shooting, and they're forgetting he's one of the best playmakers in the world. Which I disagree. I still question his shooting. I don't question his playmaking. He's one of the best playmakers in the world. But the thing is, people are questioning Russ's shooting because of the fact he's been a very bad floor spacer for his entire career. And his best season shooting the ball from three was his 2017 MVP season where he shot 34% off of 7 attempts. So I'm not questioning Russ's playmaking. I think Russ will do wonders for the Lakers. But the thing is, LeBron, he's very streaky when it comes to shooting. He's not bad. I'm not saying LeBron's bad at shooting. Before any of you guys attack me in the comments, I'm not saying LeBron is a bad shooter. But he is very streaky. And Anthony Davis, he can shoot threes, but the thing is, that's not his primary game. And yes, Anthony Davis is a mid-range shooter, but in today's NBA, you need floor spacing, especially with a big three like this. So all I'm saying is that we need to get shooters, and I'm confident that we will get shooters. Please don't re-sign Wesley Matthews or Schroeder. Let those two walk and let Drummond go, because if you keep Drummond on the team, it's gonna be, oh my gosh. Let me just put it nicely. It's not gonna help us because Drummond is not what this team needed last year, and is definitely not what this team needed this year. So I want the Lakers to get really reliable shooters who can knock down the three. Now, we're rumored to get Buddy Hield from the Sacramento Kings, but even then, we still need to build around floor spaces because THT and Caruso, they'll be fine. As long as you get shooters off the bench to pair with the big three, like LeBron, AD, and Russ, I think we should be fine. But we gotta remember that just these three alone is not gonna get the job done, which is why we need to build around shooting. And there's a reason why a lot of people are questioning this trade in terms of fit. Because look, Russell Westbrook, AD, and LeBron, that's a nice big three. Who would not want to have a big three like that on their team? I bet you have to be an idiot to refuse this big three. But I'm saying is that the fit itself is questionable because of Russ being the weakest link when it comes to shooting. Now I trust Rob Pelinka and Jeannie Buss to get us some damn shooters. And no, his name cannot be Wesley Matthews. And his name cannot be Dennis Scrotum as well. We need actual reliable shooters that can help Russell Westbrook, LeBron, and AD. Now, the positive things I can say about this trade, or at least the more positive things, because I like this trade regardless, is that we get another ball handler and a reliable third option to pair with LeBron and AD. But the thing I'm afraid of is that, well, let me put this into context. Russ has the ability to keep your team in the game by having a hot hand, but he also has the ability to shoot your team out of a game and go 2 for 12 from 3. Remember, Game 6 against Utah in 2018, he had 46 points off of 43 shots. And in 2019, in that Game 5 versus the Blazers, he had 29 points off of 11 of 31 shooting. And in this year, in the Philly series, he averaged 19 points, 11 assists, and 10 rebounds. But he shot 32%, 18% from three off of 16 attempts per game total. So I know those were with worse rosters, and obviously they did not have LeBron James and Anthony Davis. But here's the thing. We are getting a point guard that can shoot at will, but he can't make his shots. You feel me? So we're getting a guy that can average 20, 10, and 10 at this point of his career. He had a good season with Washington, and nobody's gonna forget how he turned that franchise around to be a playoff or to being a playoff contender. You feel me? But here's the thing about Russ as an individual player. He has the ability to get a hot hand and at the same time take your team out of a game because of the fact he wants to shoot so many jump shots and take so many unnecessary shots. Now, he is with LeBron. I bet Russell Westbrook acknowledges that LeBron is the leader of this team. Anthony Davis is the leader of this team. So I bet he's going to go as LeBron and AD go. But even with that, he's still going to be an inefficient shooter. So what we need to do is sign some damn shooters and a solid big man. We don't need like all these lane cloggers. We don't need Gasol. We don't need Andre Drummond, even though Gasol was probably the better shooter than Andre, obviously. But the thing is, he's 86 years old. He's 86 years old, bro. But no, seriously, we need to sign some really good shooters in the market. And here are my suggestions on who we should sign. Evan Fournier, Tim Hardaway Jr., even though I think Tim Hardaway's going back to the Mavs. Danny Green, who played with us last year. Kelly Oubre would not be a bad fit. JJ Redick, Trevor Ariza. Kelly Olynyk would be a really good fit alongside Anthony Davis. Patty Mills, Doug McDermott, Alec Burks, Avery Bradley, who also played with us last year. Mike Scott is a really good floor spacer. Garrett Temple is a really good floor spacer. Batum, who is a proven floor spacer. Reggie Jackson could be a good fit for us. Carmelo Anthony, we're rumored to get him. Torrey Craig, and Wayne Ellington. So if we can get four of the guys that I listed off, especially with guys like Torrey Craig, Wayne Ellington, and Patty Mills and Ariza, we get those type of players, our roster should be golden. Because let me put this into context for y'all. This Laker team has the potential to be one of the greatest Laker teams of all time, or it can end up being another Oklahoma City Big Three. And I said the same thing about the Nets. I will say the same thing here. Except in the Nets' case, they lost because their Big Three was not bad. It's because 2 out of their 3 stars were either injured or playing on one leg. So that was the reason why they lost, because of injury. But with us, we're kind of, I don't want to say we're a different case, but we should be held to that same standard. So overall, do I like this trade? Yes, I absolutely love this trade. I love Russell Westbrook, and I think he will be just fine with LeBron and AD, but at the same time, we need to have floor spacing because Russ is our weakest link when it comes to shooting. So get ourselves some good floor spacers, and this roster should be absolutely lethal because we're going to need our half-court offense because the full-court offense is going to be so lethal with Russ and LeBron running the break, AD running the break as well, and it's going to be so deadly. But our half-court game is going to have to matter too because we need those shooters. Because we know that teams are going to form a wall to build around LeBron, and they're going to try their best to defend Anthony Davis and even double him, and they're going to leave Russ wide open. So our half-court offense just needs to be solved by getting shooters. And obviously a reliable enough big to a point where he's not a lane clogger like Andre Drummond. So that's my overall thoughts on the Russ trade. Again, we had the potential to be the greatest Laker team of all, or one of the greatest Laker teams of all time, or another failed Big Three. And I hope we don't go down the latter. Rather, we take the former. So overall, I give this trade an 8 out of 10 for now. And if they impress me throughout the season, that rating may go up. But I'm really excited to see this team in real life. And I'm excited to see how this team plays in game. So I'm just going to tune in for that. But yeah, those are my quick thoughts on the Russell Westbrook deal and how I feel about it and what I think we should do after this trade. So it's gonna be really exciting. So yeah, that's basically the end of this video. Hope y'all enjoyed it. Like, comment, and subscribe. Whatever the hell actually I didn't say at the beginning of the video. Why do I keep saying that? That should be my outro from now on and my intro, but I'm just rambling at this point. But yeah, Lakers in 6. That's the end of this video. I'm X. Deuces.